Today on the Trent Out Loud Podcast. I keep hearing all of these videos from Donald Trump calling her Kamala, and now I'm calling her Kamala. Oh my gosh, now I'm getting confused. Kamala, thank you. What up? It's your boy, Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, it's Wednesday morning, my third favorite day of the week, because that means we're 3 days away from Friday. All right, I got a good show set up for you guys today. I got 4 lead stories. We're going to talk about Drake dropping 100 gigabytes of tracks on a new website, and he leaked some stuff on a fake Instagram page. Stay tuned for that. I will loop you guys in on all of the Drake mania that's going on right now. Then we're going to talk about the deputy who shot Sonya Massey. He thinks that she was about to kill him, and that's his excuse for shooting her in the face. Then we're going to talk about Tim Walz, Kamala Harris's new VP running mate. And then we're going to close out with Donald Trump's comments about Tim Walz, because you know Trump had something to say, of course. Then we're going to jump into quick news. The Supreme Court rejects Donald Trump's delay for his hush money trial sentencing, and he will be sentenced on September the 18th before the election. Then we're going to get into some more news about Tim Walz, and then we'll close out with, you guessed it, Donald Trump. And Donald Trump claims that Joe Biden's presidency was unconstitutionally stolen from him. Stay tuned for that. You know, Donald Trump always has some wacky points, but hey, maybe he might have a point this time. Then, if we have time, I got 2 questions of the day. And then, of course, we're going to close out with a little bit of sports news. We are going to give you guys an update on the Olympic medals and where the countries stand. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, your radio, or your devices up. I'm about to start this show. Let's go. Your boy Drizzy is back in effect. Drake shares 3 songs and 100 gigabytes of unreleased content. All right, so Drake dropped a bunch of content yesterday around 3-4 o'clock. I was in my car just on Instagram. I was parked and I was like, what is going on? I saw Drake. So he dropped it on this new website called 100GS. What's the website? Sorry, not GSB. It is, hold on, let me find it for you for those who want it. Here it is. No, hold on. Sorry. Anyways, it's 100GIGS. That's what it was. I actually went to it. And it looks almost kind of like this weird kind of like hard drive, kind of like a DOS old format. And then you can click and you just download a bunch of Drake tracks. There were a couple of highlights. One is It's Up featuring Young Thug and 21 Savage. Housekeeping Knows featuring Alotto, and Blue, Red, Green. So he put those 3 in his stories. And actually, I have a sample of the 3 songs. Here they are. Take a listen.
Gotta let some tears just shed. Since we blew up and got green, I gotta leave some of y'all on red. Ride. East Coast girls popping ass and popping pills. West Coast girls do the same, but in the hills. The hammers come out for objections. Nigga, what's up? 143 Rolexes in my collection. I put the horns on the front of the back. You know Drizzy gon' roll like a Texan.
All right, I think that It's Up one with Young Thug and 21 Savage goes hard. But yeah, so I listened to those 3. I did go on the website, but because I was in the car on my phone, the downloading was working a little bit weird. And then a half an hour after those songs came out, I started seeing some videos of Lotto. I started seeing some old unreleased footage of Drake. I saw one with Drake and Rihanna on stage. I saw one with Drake maybe around 10 or 15 years ago, like Degrassi time. And it so happens that he actually has a burner account, a fake Instagram account called Plot Twist. If you guys want to follow it, it's Plot with 4 T's and then Twist with 6 T's. It has close to like 100,000 followers. I'm sure now by the time I'm talking about this, it probably has maybe even close to 1 million or 500,000. And that is where he was leaking all of these old unreleased footage. So, of course, He hasn't come out and said anything about it. Academics hasn't said anything about it. Little Yachty hasn't said anything. And the reason why I'm mentioning those two is because for the past year or so, those have been Drake's mouthpieces. He really doesn't do any interviews. He talks through his music or through academics or Little Yachty. I think, if anything, if I would have to guess, it is probably tracks, just unreleased tracks, and Drake's just dumping it out to us. But I think what he's doing with this and the Party Next Door and the little with the Yachty track, also too, that released Super Soaker, which I love, that released around 2 weeks ago. I think Drake is just trying to just throw music out there to get the comments out of the way, to get the, oh, Drake, oh, it doesn't hit anymore, oh, this is this, whatever. Because no matter what he does, you're going to get the Drake train, the Drake hate train, right? So I think he just wants to exhaust this, kind of like when Cat Williams in the beginning of the year made those comments about Kevin Hart. And then Kevin Hart just started posting on his Instagram, and people were like, hey, are you going to address Cat Williams? And he just kept posting, he kept posting, and he kept posting. And then eventually it was just like, all right, we're not going to talk about Cat Williams anymore. And then Kevin Hart and Cat Williams, you guys stopped talking about it, and everything is done. And now that seems like that was years ago, when it really was only 6 months ago. And apparently when that happened, it was, oh my gosh, Kevin Hart's going to get canceled. He's been treating everybody in the industry so poorly, blah, 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 blah. And now you don't remember it happened. So I think Drake is just trying to take this same approach where he's just putting out stuff. I think these are just old songs, old footage. And, you know, the Drake fans are going to be the Drake fans. They're going to love it. They're going to find some songs that they like, some that they hate. They're going to go through the footage. But I think he's just trying to just wash out all of the comments and all of the Kendrick Drake beef, and to make way for his new album whenever that comes. We're gonna have him and Party Next Door, I think he said, in the fall, and I think we should probably have a new Drake album maybe next summer. But it's gonna take a while to deliver that. So I don't know. That's just what I think. Let me know if you guys heard about this, or is this like breaking news if you haven't heard about it. But let me know if you heard any of the tracks, some of the videos. I did post some of them on my Instagram if you guys want to go and see. Yeah, what do you think about the Drake music? What do you think about the videos? Let me know. Trent Out Loud at cfqr600.com. Comment below or send me a DM at Trent Out Loud. All right, this brings us to our second lead story. This story is making me very upset, but I'll talk about it anyways. Deputy who fatally shot Sonya Massey claims he believed Massey intended to kill him after she yelled, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." He said, his name is Sean Grayson. He said, Sonya turned to face me holding the pot. I did not know the type of liquid that was boiling. I advised Sonya to put the boiling liquid down. Sonya stated she was going to rebuke me in the name of Jesus. She stated this twice. I interpreted this to mean that she was going to kill me. BS. Anyways, new details have emerged regarding the fatal shooting of Sonya Massey. Sean Grayson, the deputy who shot Massey in her Illinois home after she called the police for help last month, said he was under the impression that Massey meant to harm him during the exchange. Bodycam footage shows Grayson instructing Massey to remove the pot of boiling liquid from her stove. In the deputy's field report, he claims that when Massey yelled, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus," while removing the pot, he believes she intended to kill him. Gracie faces first-degree murder, aggravated battery, and official misconduct charge from a fatal shooting of the 36-year-old Massey. Y'all know how I feel about this. I have talked about the story a few times already. I know what he's trying to do. I know enough about the legal system to know that police officers, all they have to do is show that they acted in self-defense and that their life was being threatened, and they will have carte blanche to do anything. So this is exactly what his lawyer is trying to have him do. You know, in the justice system, you are innocent until proven guilty, and you must prove your guilt, the prosecution must prove his guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. And I'm just going to go out on the limb right now and just say it's going to be very hard for the prosecution to prove that he didn't feel like his life was threatened. I know it was just a pot. I know it was boiling water. It was just boiling water. He knows that because they were in the apartment for a while, and he even says, take that pot off the stove. He knows that there isn't any harmful liquid. He knows the pot could not have killed him, but he's an officer, and all he has to do is say that he felt like his life was in danger, that boiling liquid, he didn't know what it was, and he will get off. I am predicting a lot of uproar if this man, Sean Grayson, gets off not guilty. It will be huge. I feel like there could be maybe some riots. I'm not encouraging danger. I'm just letting you know what I think. And I feel like this case is very dangerous. And at the same time, it is going to be very hard to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm not too sure if this is a jury case or a judge case. I don't even know if they're there yet. But if this is a jury case, it will be very hard to prove. Even if it's just with a judge, it will be hard to prove. And it's just really sad. And we'll see what happens from here. All right, in our third lead story, not familiar with Governor Tim Walz? Here's everything you need to know about Kamala Harris's running mate. All right, in choosing the 60-year-old Tim Walz, Harris turned to the Midwestern governor and military veteran. Additionally, the governor is a union supporter who helped enact the Democratic agenda for his state, including sweeping protection for abortion rights and generous aid to families. Walz grew up in a small town in West Point, Nebraska. Before going into politics, he worked as a social studies teacher, football coach, and a union member for the West High School in Minnesota. In 2006, he won his sixth term in Congress for the mostly rural southern Minnesota district. He used the office to champion veteran issues. For more context, Tim Walz served 24 years in the Army as a National Guard, rising to command senior major, one of the highest enlisted ranking in the military. All right, we're going to have a little bit more about Tim Walz in quick stories. And I just wanted to touch on this. I was watching his speech at the campaign rally with him and Kamala Harris yesterday in Philadelphia. And I was watching all the stories about him on CNN yesterday. And I like the guy. I don't know too much about him, but of course, the picture that they're painting of him, I do like. But you know, when you see somebody talk, you see their mannerisms and you see how they are, you could get a better feeling than just black and white, the fact of the things that I just read to you about him being a football coach, about him being in the military, about him being a teacher. Those things do tell you a lot about someone's personality. I mean, he's very accomplished for somebody who's 60 years old. He's been through a lot. Like I said, teaching, army, being a governor, et cetera, et cetera. And it seems like he has excelled in pretty much every avenue that he or every situation he's put himself into. Rising to the ranks of the military is not an easy thing. I heard in a bipartisan arm or shooting thing that he finishes first every year. And yes, he is a gun-toting American. So, but anyways, I say all of that to say, if you just listen to him and you watch him and his mannerisms, my takeaway, and I think this is the highlight for me, is that he really, really likes Kamala Harris. He feels like their policies align, and it really feels like he's there to support her. And I think that's the difference between him and Joe Shapiro. I think his name is Shapiro. Where a lot of people wanted him. He's the governor of Philadelphia or Pennsylvania. And they were saying that Joe has more kind of like desires to be president. And he kind of wanted Kamala to pick him so they could, I heard they were saying that like, it could be like a 2-for-1 where you can get two presidents in one. And that's not the role of a vice president. The role of a vice president is to back the president. That's what you're supposed to be there for. Kamala Harris did a great job of that in the past 4 years. That's why when when she was starting her presidential bid, people were like, "Oh, what has Kamala done in the past 4 years?" We are not supposed to know what the vice president is doing because you're supposed to hear from the president because the vice president is supposed to support the president, and that's the energy I get from Tim Walz. I really like him. He does not back down to Trump nor JD Vance. He was saying a lot of things about them that I like, and he wasn't being the normal political things. He was coming right at them and taking shots like how Trump and JD Vance takes shots at other people. So I think the people who are undecided, I think the center people will gravitate towards him if they're kind of on the fence and they don't know. And like they were saying yesterday, it's like he reads Republican. If you look at him, he has an army hat on, and him and Kamala just did a commercial. He has an army hat on. He's a hunter. Like I said, he believes in the Second Amendment, right? But he also believes in gun safety laws. So he kind of looks like a Republican, talks like a Republican, acts like a Republican, but has a little bit more progressive views, which is why he sits, of course, in the Democratic Party. So just my take. I like him. I think it's a good pick. And like I said, he really looks like he's there to support her and not wanting to take over and lead over her, which I think was very important for voters and what people are looking for. And lastly, he completes the ticket. He's an Army vet. She wasn't in the Army. So I think that's exactly what a vice president and a president are supposed to do. It's supposed to be yin and yang. The things that you don't have, your vice president should have, and vice versa. So I like this pick. Let me know what you guys think about the pick. Send me an email, trentoutloud@cfqr600.com. Comment below or send me a DM at trentoutloud. All right, in our fourth lead story, of course, Donald Trump had to comment on Tim Walz. Donald Trump's campaign releases a statement on Kamala Harris choosing Tim Walz as her running mate. Says Walz embraces policies that allow convicted felons to vote. He says, the statement says, it's no surprise that San Francisco liberal Kamala, I keep hearing all of these videos from Donald Trump calling her Kamala, and now I'm calling her Kamala. Oh my gosh, now I'm getting confused. Kamala, thank you. Kamala Harris wants West Coast wannabe Tim Walz as her running mate. Walz has spent his governorship trying to reshape Minnesota into the image of the Golden State. While Walz pretends to support Americans in the heartland, when the cameras are off, he believes that rural America is mostly cows and rocks. By the way, that's not true. From proposing his own carbon-free agenda to suggesting stricter emission standards for gas-powered cars and embracing policies to allow convicting felons to vote, Walz is obsessed with spreading California's dangerous liberal agenda far and wide. If Walz won't tell voters the truth, we will. Just like Kamala Harris, Tim Walz is a dangerous liberal extremist, and the Harris-Walz California dream is every American's nightmare. So that was from Donald Trump's press secretary, and of course, from the man himself, Donald Trump. So I just got through telling you guys what I think about what I think about Tim Walz. This is what the Republican Party, Donald Trump, has to say. This obviously we knew was going to come. I don't fault them for this. This is a presidential campaign. You're not supposed to like the other side. You're supposed to say all the things that they're doing that's dangerous. Things that bother me sometimes about Donald Trump is that he lies and says things that they actually really didn't say. But hey, that's neither here nor there. That's his style. It's up to us as viewers and American voters to do your research and find out what their policies are and who you believe in and who you want to vote for. So Donald Trump's not doing anything wrong. He's doing his job. And we will see, man. This is really exciting, man. Especially, I'm a Canadian, man, and I'm so heavily invested in this political run. I think it's super excited. But I've always been very excited about American politics. This feels like Barack Obama time, 2008. That's when I actually really started getting more into American politics. But yeah, anyways, it feels very exciting. And I really hope they debate. I hope Tim Walz and JD Vance debates. And I pray that Donald Trump and Kamala Harris get to debating. It's going to be amazing. But of course, you guys know I will keep you up to date here on the Trent Out Loud Podcast on CFQR and let you know everything that's going to happen in the next, I think it was 91 days until the election, man. Keep it locked. All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. The Supreme Court rejects requests to delay Donald Trump's hush money sentencing until after the presidential election. And they said the sentencing will begin on September 18th. This is big news because we're always talking about Donald Trump has the Supreme Court stacked and they're always going to vote his way. Seems like they didn't vote his way. I posted this up actually on my Exclusivity Instagram page, and somebody replied back to my story, a friend of mine. I was like, you see, this means that the court is fair. But I replied and I'm like, I think sometimes they just do things so it doesn't look like he has them under complete control. And he's like, oh my gosh, man, they can't win. So it is true. I mean, they almost can't win. If they vote with him, they're like, oh my gosh, this is Donald Trump's court. If they vote against them, people say, oh, they do this once in a while so it doesn't look like they're so controlled. It is true. Anyways, at least they got it right this time. On Monday, the Supreme Court rejected a request by the state of Missouri to delay Donald Trump's upcoming sentencing for his conviction involving hush money payment to Stormy Daniels. According to MSNBC, Missouri argued that the rights of voters in the states are being violated by the criminal proceeding. As we previously reported, Trump was convicted by a New York jury of 34 counts for falsifying business records to cover up a $130,000 payment he made to Daniels before the 2016 election. Okay, hold on a second. So it's the state of Missouri that wants to delay it and not Donald Trump? I don't know. Something seems a little bit weird here. Why would the state of Missouri say that the rights of voters in the state were being violated by the criminal proceeding? That sounds weird, man. I feel like Donald Trump has something to do with this, man. If anybody knows more about the story, let me know, all right? Comment below or send me an email. All right, in our second quick story, meet Kamala Harris's new vice president pick, Tim Walz, the current Minnesota governor. Walz legalized recreational marijuana. He passed free lunch for students and created Beyonce Day. All right, like I told you guys in the lead story, I have a little bit more information about Tim Walz, and this is a little bit more of his policies and the things he's done for Minnesota. So early yesterday, Kamala Harris announced her new running mate, Governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz. The 60-year-old politician has been making a difference in his state for the past 12 years and we wanted to highlight some of the amazing policies. Walz is an Army veteran, former public school teacher, and 6-term congressman. Walz is currently serving his 6th year of his 8-year stint as governor of Minnesota. Walz is described by the USA Today as a pro-union Democrat who can speak to the concerns of blue-collar workers in the state of Minnesota and the Midwestern states. Walz has legalized marijuana recreationally in his state, as well as passed a bill to allow children to have free breakfast and lunch at public schools. Walz even created Beyonce Day in the state during her Renaissance tour stop in the state. Walz recently went viral for criticizing the MAGA crowd by deeming them weird for their bizarre policies. He says, these are weird people on the other side, Walz said in an interview with MSNBC. They want to take books away. They want to be in your exam rooms. Listen to them speak. Listen to how they talk about things. It's just weird. I did hear a couple of viral clips of him saying like how weird they are, which is not normal lingo for most politicians to just say somebody's weird. But anyways, he did go viral about that. I have a little clip from him on CNN. Take a listen.
But you've legalized recreational marijuana, you expanded LGBTQ protections, you implemented tuition-free college for low-income Minnesotans, free breakfast and lunch for school kids. Do you think your record is an asset, or would it risk fueling Trump's attacks as you being a big government liberal?
What a monster. Kids are eating and having full bellies so they can go learn, and women are making their own healthcare decisions.
You see how he talks? Like he starts out just being sarcastic, like, oh my gosh, yes, I did such a bad job. Kids are eating free lunch and their stomachs are full. You know, it's like he has that kind of dry wit, that kind of sarcasm. And I don't know, if you haven't caught any of his interviews, Google him. Like I said, he seems like a fun guy. Kamala seems like she's always wanting to have fun too, and also be very serious. But you have to have some sort of humor in this kind of hard work that they do, right? So I like that about both of them. But draw your own conclusion. I'm just here to give you some of the facts and my opinion. All right, in our third and final quick story, Donald Trump claims Joe Biden's presidency was unconstitutionally stolen from him by Kamala Harris, Barack Obama, and more. All right, Trump made this post on his Truth Social, and it's just wild. Just want to set out a warning that this is all untrue, what I'm about to read to you guys here. But this is what Donald Trump wrote. Take a listen. What are the chances that crooked Joe Biden crashes the Democratic National Convention and tries to take back the nomination, beginning with challenging me to another debate? He feels that he made a historical, tragic mistake by handing over the U.S. presidency, a coup, to the people in the world he most hates, and he wants it back now. This is Donald Trump, man. Yeah, so Donald Trump is predicting that Joe Biden is going to storm the Democratic National Convention. I think that's happening next week, and he is going to try to take back the nomination because he hates Kamala Harris, Barack Obama, Nancy Pelosi, Adam Schiff, and Chuck Schumer, and he wants his presidency back. He's going to take it back at the Democratic Convention. This is the former president of the United States and the presumptive nominee. Well, no, he's not the presumptive, and he is the nominee for the Republican Party. These are the things that Trump does that loses me. Like, I always jump on this microphone and say, you guys can vote who you want. I make fun of Kamala. I make fun of Joe Biden. I make fun of Trump. I'm not here to tell you who to vote for. But personally, when he does stuff like this is like, how can you take this guy seriously? It's crazy to me. All right, this brings us to question of the day. If your city was competing in the Olympics, what would y'all win gold for? All right, y'all love Kimberly said, I'm from Montgomery, Alabama. So, and then she put a chair emoji and swim. You guys remember the Alabama fight at the pool last year with the black people and the white people, Montgomery, Alabama? That's actually hilarious. Some people said, I'm from NYC. We would win a medal for the fastest walkers. Then somebody else said, I hate to say it, but Atlanta would win gold for the men on the down low. That's hilarious. Somebody said, I'm from Vegas. We would send you home broke. We would definitely win the medal for sending you home broke. That's very true. Emerald No Less said New Orleans would get the gold medal for twerking, maybe silver against Caribbean girls. That's hilarious. Pretty Girl CJ said, I'm from Jamaica. We would win a gold medal for dreads and gold teeth. Wow. I don't know about the gold teeth thing, but for dreads, for sure. Detroit would win any mink off fur coats to the floor. Really? I've never been to Detroit, but is it really like that? That's crazy. Chef Bay said Atlanta would definitely win the medal for lemon pepper, lamb chocks, and hookah. Oh, it's true, huh? When I was in Atlanta, I went to like 2 hookah lounges. That's hilarious. Crab cakes and heroin sales, but she didn't say which country that was from. Somebody says Atlanta would definitely win scamming in gold. Hilarious. And I'll read a couple of more. Anthony Lindsay said Chicago would win for the best skyline in America. Yo, I love New York and I love LA. And but Chicago has one of the most beautiful skylines I've ever seen in the entire world. One day I walked around Chicago for like 15 or 16 hours just taking pictures. Chicago is a beautiful, beautiful city. What else? Somebody said Compton for cripping. Okay, obviously. Somebody said most crab legs eaten, but nobody said where from. All right, TT82 said potholes in Compton. Lemon pepper wings, again, they didn't say. And somebody said robbery, but didn't say where to go. Oh, here's one. 420 Capitol, Patterson, New Jersey. All right, that was it for one question of the day. Let me get to the second one really quick. If you had the power to permanently set the price of any one item to just $1, what would you choose? Conceited NYC said DoorDash and Uber Eat fees. Bro, that's it? Come on, man. You got to think bigger than that. Somebody said housing, period. Exactly. Imagine every house all day, every day would just be worth $1. But then, well, yeah, anyways, let me not get into it because then you would never be able to make money on investment or property. So it wouldn't be good. Maybe this question of the day is not that best and I should have just stuck with one. Baby girl said mortgages, everybody getting a house. Yeah, see, it would just cause mayhem. This is not good. Somebody said a house again. Universal health care. My heart surgery would be free. That's a good one. Somebody said housing. I'm stuck between housing and healthcare. Housing. Everybody's going to say rent and mortgage, but has never had to pay it. Somebody said rent. All right. Healthcare. You know what? I should have just stuck with the one question of the day. I tried to squeeze in a second one. It's all healthcare and cancer treatment. Anyways, send me an answer to any of these questions of the day. If your city was in the Olympics, what would it win a gold medal for? And please try to give me an answer to if you had to have one thing for $1 for the rest of your life, what would it be? And don't say housing or healthcare. Send me an email, trentoutloud@cfqr600.com, comment below, or send me a DM at Trent Out Loud. All right, this brings us to sports news. All right, not too much going on in sports, obviously, other than just the Olympics. So I thought it would be fun to give you guys a medal count. This was a medal count as of yesterday. So if you're watching this in this morning, you're listening to this on cfqr600.com, it may have changed. I did get this count last night. So right now, as it stands, the U.S. has 24 gold. Well, sorry, the U.S. is leading China with 24 golds, 31 silvers, 31 bronze for a total of 86 medals. China has 22 gold, 21 silver, 16 bronze for a total of 59. France has 13 golds, 16 silver, 19 bronze for a total of 48. Great Britain has 12 gold, 15 silver, 19 bronze, total 46. Australia, 14 gold, 12 silver, 9 bronze, total 35. Japan, 11 gold, 6 silver, 12 bronze, total 29. Korea, 11 gold, 8 silver, 7 bronze, total 26. Italy, 9 gold, 10 silver, 7 bronze, total 26. I think this is Netherlands, 8 gold, 5 silver, 6 bronze, total 19. And Canada, Lord, we're so low down, man. Only 4 golds, 4 silver, and 8 bronze for a total of 18. Let me just check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so this is top 10. So at least we're in the top 10, I guess, of all the other countries. How many countries are in the Olympics? I don't know how many, but anyways, shout out to Canada. At least we're in the top 10. And we have 6 goals. And of course, as always, shout out to the U.S. who are leading in gold, leading in silver, leading in bronze, and of course, leading in total. All right, that is the show. Thanks for kicking with me. I hope you enjoyed it and you got some information and you laughed and had a good time. Just want to let you guys know all the ways to keep up with the show. If you're used to watching the Trent Out Loud podcast on YouTube or used to listening to it on podcast platforms, please try to check us out on cfqr600.com from 11 to 12, Monday to Friday. We do play the Trent Out Loud podcast, but we mix it in with 90s and 2000s hip hop and R&B. It's a great way to enjoy the show. It's a great way to break up your day. I do mix the show and I do select the music, so you know it's going to be dope. Please try to check it out. Like I said, it's a really fun way to get your news while listening to your favorite hip hop and R&B. Vice versa, if you're used to listening to the Trent Out Loud podcast on CFQR and you can't always catch the episode between 11 and 12, you can always check us out on YouTube or podcast platforms. We upload the show daily. Just go to your desired site, type in Trent Out Loud. The show will pop up. Don't forget to hit the follow or subscribe button so you can be notified every time we upload a new show. And if you're like me and you like to watch your podcast with video, check us out on Spotify. Spotify does support podcasts that have video. And if you ask me, it's better than YouTube. Shout out to my YouTubers, though. No shade. But it is better to watch video on Spotify because if you go to other apps or your phone rings or you do whatever, you don't lose the show. It just goes in the corner and keeps playing, and you can get back to it where YouTube, the app closes. You got to restart it. So those are the ways to keep up with the show. And lastly, if you want to keep up with me on any of my social platforms, they're all at Trent Out Loud. And of course, you can follow the production and media company, Exclusivity Media, on Instagram. I will see you guys tomorrow for Thursday's show. Be safe. It's your boy. Peace. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trent Out Loud. Peace.